Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. Tonight we have part 6 of our Hyperborea adventure, Doom of the Crab King. And this, I believe, will be our last episode for a while on this show. But we'll be back because the Striped Gulf, there is much more territory to be freed, and we'll see what happens tonight. Let's go around our party and find out who we are and who we're playing. Aldoon, how are you?
Oh, why, thank you for asking, Pete. I'm fine. Good evening, everybody. Or good morning, good afternoon, or whatever time zone you happen to be in right now. Please enjoy a refreshing beverage of your choice. Hello, I will be playing Jean Christophe, Carolingian Frank Purloiner, think a sort of thief priest, if you will. Daring doer of, well, reasonable good at the moment. Instigator of plans, that kind of thing. Dyer in a ditch, that kind of thing.
Yes, with a raven.
The raven-headed mace, yes, to honour the raven god, for which Jean is a acolyte.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. Dennis, how are you doing?
I'm quite all right, Pete. Thank you. Hello, everyone at home. I'm still Dennis. I have brought along Lafal Good. I kind of feel like liberating a town today. Seems quite up my alley today. Once I figure out
thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Once I figure out which end of a mace needs to go to the other guy and which end, stays with me. As soon as that is kind of understood and accomplished, I'm up for liberating a town. Sounds good.
Maybe we should paint the different ends of your mace, seeing like the red end hit the other person with it, the green end you hold, that kind of thing.
Or like you do with boots, your left and right, you can have face and enemy.
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Yeah. Put a face on the bit that's supposed to go on the face, and then I like that.
Excellent.
And we got some paint.
Our warrior learning how to use his mace properly. And last but not least, Dan, how are you doing?
I'm well, Pete. Thank you for asking. Hello, everybody. I am Dan. I am playing Alika of the House of Zam, Shaman, Atlantean, and legendary Grey Lady. I think it's been established now she's now a legend. At least that's what I'm going with. And I have a new cool thing. I put everyone to sleep and everyone dies. It worked well last week. We're going to liberate a town. Not sure it's big enough to liberate an entire town, but we'll have a go.
Who knows? Who knows? We will find out. So, excellent. Awesome. And we're all now level 2. So we've all got some special abilities. And last time we had the ambush. The uncut ruby was being transported back to the town. And we had undercover caravan guards, Jean and Lafal, who were wearing the lovely brooches to identify them as guards of the caravan. They went there, got this rather big uncut ruby, at which point Klobos got a little bit weird and sort of went in the room alone with the ruby, and brooches started to shine with little red lights. At the same time, Alika was getting the rebels together to swoop down into the ambush area, keeping Berith from announcing their presence with some sort of heroic speech. And the two things came together as you came back towards the town with the caravan, with the ruby, and a couple of companions who you'd managed to talk to before all of the chaos. The trap was sprung, this ambush launched, Berith got to say something heroic with his foot on a rock, and you all leapt into action, as did Klobos, who transformed 2 brooch wearers into giant crabs. Which I think you guys, your next action was then to take it off and throw it away because you didn't want to be turned into a giant crab, which was wise, right? The paladin smashed himself in the face. Their sleep spell was cast on some of the guards. There was some fighting. Klobos went down because Jean did a command spell. Sleep collapsed onto the floor for a number of rounds. Then they stood around him so no one woke him up and fought giant crabs. They were getting shot at with arrows. Dodecimus came running in. Alika came running in. Jean went down. Jean got up. Jean went down. Laffel went down. Alika was still there. Arrows and things. And Klobos eventually fell. And you turned around and you could see all the rebels had stabbed up all the sleeping guardsmen, and Javis had died, leaving Churn, who was still with you, and Dodecimus, obviously. And you gathered everything together with the rebels, and you went back to the mine and liberated the mine. There weren't that many guards left at the mine, so you kind of turned up and did another sleep spell, and they all collapsed. We had a good roll. They collapsed. Stabby, 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 stab. It works. It was really good. One of the most powerful first level spells. So we ended the session with you all getting absolutely hammered, drinking and cheering and lots of ribald revelry at the great sort of blow for freedom that you've given to the crab folk. So were you going to stay there? I think you were going to stay the night, were you? Yeah, because you were tired. It was late. You'd been in the mountains. People falling over, tripping up in the dark down a mountainside is not a good idea.
I also think we were very low on health.
Oh,
You
yes.
were low on health.
We had taken somewhat of a pounding.
There had been.
Yes.
It was a good fight because I felt like there was a genuine risk that you all might die. So I'm learning about balance in Hyperborea, but it's old school, so you don't really worry about balance. You just go with what's cool and get on with it. So let's have a look. I just want to check healing. I'm pretty sure you'll get all your hit points back, but I just want to double check because it's the kind of game where it might say gain 2 hit points.
1d4.
Yeah. Healing. The natural restoration of hit point loss. Wounded character takes proper rest, minimum 6 to 8 hours. Hit point recovery is rolled using the character's hit die type. This roll is modified by Constitution hit points adjustment with a minimum of 1 per hit point per day. For example, a wounded thief of 13 Constitution gains 1d6 plus 1 hit points of healing per day. Because the hit die type of d6. I knew it wouldn't be get all your hit points back.
No.
If you rest for 24 hours, you get the full value of that roll. Yeah, guaranteed.
Proper.
There you go.
Oh, it's 50 nonsense.
So Jean, you're a Paloyan.
Hello.
So your hit
Yes.
die is a
Please hold.
d6,
Probably.
d8. It's
D6.
different for some of the
It's a
d6.
D6.
Okay. And do you have a Constitution modifier?
Okay. No.
In
No.
which case, let's roll 1d6 for Jean.
Bring on that 1 hit point.
Laffel, you get 1d10 plus
A +1.
plus 1. Okay, so Jean recovers 3 hit points.
3!
Laffel, 1d10 plus 1. And Alika's got a +3 Constitution modifier or something crazy. 5 for Laffel. And, oh, look at that. Full 8 hit points for Alika. Cool.
Did Alika need any hit points?
She did a little bit. I had taken a little bit of damage.
Just a tickle.
Yes. I certainly didn't need all 8.
You can't share them with anyone else.
I was literally about to be, can I give something to Sean?
Can I channel my bonus health into somebody else? No.
Sleep holding hands or something.
It's fine. Oh, like otters.
Aww. Okay. So,
what about spells and things?
spells? You get all your spells back.
Great referee.
Yes, those work on a daily cycle, right? So you get your spells back, and any
Cool.
medicine man abilities or backstab. No, backstab's just whenever you can do it, right?
Yeah, it's whenever I feel like it.
Whenever I feel like it. Sorry, felt like it. And Laffle, do you have any Healy type things? Being a paladin.
I was going to say I've got the equivalent of lay on hands,
Okay.
which allows me to scroll.
You?
Can restore up to 2 hit points per day per level of experience.
Yeah, so I could restore 4. Am I permitted to use that before we take a rest and I get 4 more hit points?
Yes, you are.
Yay! I can get it back in the morning.
Because you hadn't used it before, right?
Yeah. Let's do it proper
That's
old school
perfectly-
then.
Yeah. Everyone
Burn
use
your
up all
healing
powers.
spells before you go
Alika,
for a
did
nap.
you have any healing available before you went to bed?
I spent all of it picking all of my friends up.
Oh yes, you had gone like cure like wounds and cure like
Yeah.
wounds, hadn't you?
Yeah, I picked up John twice
Yeah.
and Lafal once.
Well,
That was
I
all my
think they
medicine
knew
mans
you
and all of my cure wounds.
got
I'm
good
very
enough excuse then.
brave.
Okay, so you rest, and the morning comes, the dawn, and some of the team get up. Berith is up, trying to get everything ready. Some people are still asleep, having maybe had 1 or 2 too many, jugs of ale, and you guys awaken, and I think there was about 50 of you, right? You had all the miners and a few guards, and so there's the rebels, there's the miners, there's a couple of guards, and there's you guys and Churn and Dodecimus. And Dodecimus sort of finds the 3 of you tucking into breakfast, and he sits down and he says, "So, what is your plan?" He sort of looks between Jean and Alika.
Oh, hello. Yes. The plan is to liberate the town of Huskrim. We are hoping
That's not a plan, that's an outcome.
Okay, if you're just going to be critical from the outset, we're going to find this very hard to work with, okay? Okay? Are you unhappy with the results so far?
No.
Okay, so maybe shush?
He looks at you, he's like, he likes it, and he's like, okay, speak.
So, we don't know what the outcome or plan. We wish to return to the town and raise a revolt and join up with Huffly Puffly in the docks so that we can hopefully do a surprise movement from different areas of the town and rout whatever remaining guards there may be of the crab cult. Okay, you can send a runner to Huffle Puffle and let them know that we are coming. Then we can time the attack appropriately.
So we want to send people ahead to meet up with Paffle Jaffet.
Ah, yes, that's the one. Yes, him.
Yes, I'm sure Berith will probably have a suitable runner.
Berith, did I hear my name? He comes over. Sort of.
Yes, you did. Noble
puts his foot on a
Berith.
chair. There's no nearby rock in this area.
It's okay. No
How may I
speeches.
be of service?
We need a runner to alert Huffle Puffle to the impending rebel entrance to the town.
Assault is the word you're looking for.
Thank you, Jean.
Ah, yes. This is a good idea. He sort of glances around, scanning around. I have several men who could go, I think. And we shall. Are we looking to attack the walls, or do we think they'll bar the gates for us?
Not if they
Forest?
see the caravan coming down the hill.
Exactement.
So we need to divide our forces a little bit, because if obviously 50 of us turn up, they're going to know something's up. But maybe some forces can go to maybe the other gates, because I know there's more than one gate.
We'd have to go around the town. Yeah, skirt the foothills and then come in from the other side.
So you could lead that force, because you know that, you see. And I know you're sort of a legendary leader of your men, and they do enjoy you. your speeches. So you'll take one gate, and you'll know the commotion's happened because when we go through the main gate with the caravan, that's when the commotion will happen, and that'll be your. We'll do something to notify you that it's time to attack, and you can attack the other gate.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. This sounds like a fine plan. He points at a sort of, late teenager kind of kid who's got a couple of scrapes on him and has got a little sword on his belt, and he's kind of like looking around, like all excited that this is all going on. And he's like, "You boy," and he's like, "Yes, yes. How may I be of service?" Run! You must run. Find Paffle Jaffet. Who can direct him to Gerd? Find Gerd, or Paffle Jaffet, and spread the word. We will be coming. What should we say? Noon, or as the sun sets? We need some dramatic moment to arrive at the town, Alika. When the sun is high.
Yes. Look to the west for our coming.
Well, the east.
On the third day.
Yeah.
Sorry, get it myself.
Oh, we get more healing. Okay, fine. I'm going to go have a rest then.
No, we cannot wait.
No.
Oh, okay.
Now is the time to attack. Very well.
Absolutely.
He goes off and he writes something on a piece of paper, folds it up, and gives it to the boy.
Before the boy leaves, I go, if you get captured, eat that note.
Okay. And he.
But most importantly, don't get captured.
I know. Yeah. I don't want
top
to do
tip.
that. They'll kill me.
Mm.
And he heads off down the mountain trail. And Barrett says, "Very well. Right, you and your big chap and that one, and take a few of these. You take some of the miners. I've got my rebels and some of the miners. That sounds fair."
Sounds good.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
we'll dress up like we did when we came into the mines. We'll pretend to be the caravan returning with Ruby, and that should allow us to catch them off guard.
When you say pretend to be the caravan returning with the ruby, we are actually going to be the caravan returning with the ruby.
Yes, but we aren't the original guards, are we, Jean?
Well, I am, and so is Lafelle.
We are, yeah.
Yeah.
Churn is like,
You were
"Me
never
too."
well, you might have been technically a guard, but you guys were never technically guards. You were infiltrators.
Potato, potato.
Tomato, tomato, isn't it?
Scones going. Right.
Don't know what
okay.
I'm talking about. Cheese. You know.
He says, "Very well. I shall go off and get my men ready." And he walks off and he kind of he stands in the middle of a large group and he goes, "Men, gather round me now. Today is and he kind of you guys kind of like sound it out. You're like, he's kind of doing his little speech in the background.
Very good at the rabble rousing. This will be very useful for the actual insurrection.
Churn says, "I'll go and get some of the clothes together for the miners to dress as guard,
Thank you, Churn.
the brute squad or whatever they call
Yes.
it."
Churn, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know whether Jarvis had a family in the town?
No family.
Oh, okay. Well, that is obviously sad, but also good. So there is no one left behind. Okay. Well,
Right. At the mention of his friend, he's kind of he's not sad, he's like a warrior guy, but he's like goes a bit straight faced and walks off. Dodecimus sort of turns to you guys and says, I'm impressed with your way with the blade and the way that you think. Perhaps you will give Huskrin freedom today, and perhaps tomorrow Tanurin, who knows?
Who knows indeed?
But we're also acutely aware that you don't believe in causes, and we need to pay you further after tomorrow.
Yes, you do.
But I'm sure we can handle that.
I'm sure once we have liberated the temple, then we should have access to more coffers.
No doubt. They like to hoard the gold.
We will redistribute the wealth appropriately.
He sort of, okay. Well, I must be about my Constitutional, and he wanders off. And the three of you are left there. Churn starts getting the clothes together. You guys finish your breakfast, and you all start getting prepared. The caravan is kind of put together. A couple of the caravans got stepped on by a crab or shot up or smashed. So you've got most of the caravan to take back with you, including that very large ruby, as we said, the Eye of the Crab King.
It's fine. If there are any questions, we can do the whole, we were ambushed, that's why we're late. We're terribly sorry that Clobus is dead. All of these terrible things. But here we are. Please open the gates.
Very well. And you head off.
Great lady, are you coming with us, or are you going with a different troop? Just
No, I feel we should be back together again.
okay. We will find you a cloak, maybe of one of the Red Arms or something, to disguise you,
You could dress up as Klobos.
or possibly dress up as Globus if you want. Can you be a total lunatic arsehole?
No.
No, I did not think this was within your range. But maybe just don't say anything. Maybe just be silent and imperious.
I'll just wear a hood over my face a bit more and look down.
Yes.
I'll put my trident in the nearby carriage.
Yes, that's also not a Globus thing. So, okay, this is a good point. Very good.
Okay, so from afar you look just like the caravan that left, right? So you make your way down, and Birith and his men head back up through the pass that you came down for the ambush, and he said we will skirt round through other paths and make our way to the other gate. And after a few hours you're going across the land, and the town is ahead of you. It's been a fairly uneventful journey. It seems that the clergy, the crab people, are dissuading most people from going out and about, and trying to keep them in the town or working at the mine. So there's less road traffic, and you can see ahead the gates of Huskrin, and the couple of guards. It's one of those. It's got little parapets above, little sort of. It's not grey stone. It's like baked dry earth kind of structure, and down the sides with a nice arch for giant big doors, big bolt that can go across the back, that kind of thing. And there's a couple of guards outside, and there are a couple of people sort of making their way into the town, and you kind of rumble along in your outfits. I feel like we need a roll for this just to see if someone, kind of figures it out. So, let's have a moderate roll. And if anyone's got a charisma modifier bonus, it can be a simple roll.
I've got a +1.
Ooh, there we go. Right, Laffel, make a simple roll.
Roll it.
Yeah.
Close. Okay, so as you make your way in, Laffel, one of the guards recognizes you from the way out, right? And he's like, "Oh, you're back."
We are indeed. Not in the greatest of shapes. But what we got, what we went for.
Harpies or those idiots in the mountains?
Idiots in the mountains.
Wild ambushers.
They should know when to get on board with the new authority.
Yeah, no, I agree. I wished I did that sooner rather than later. We didn't all make it. It's kind of full of arrows, and
Sorry to hear that.
some fool got hit with a mace and such. But we made it. We got through.
Excellent. Well, there's a group of them at Vandros awaiting your return.
We
He
shall.
points, and if you remember, it's near the gate, right? So it's kind of like you go in, and there's a big tavern on one side. There's a couple of hovels kind of tucked into the wall there, but across this kind of square that you go into on the far left corner, there's Vandro's big place opposite, half of the tavern.
What
There's
time
people
is
milling
it?
about. What time is it? So you got up. It's probably coming up towards lunch time.
So it's coming up to noon.
When the sun is high.
Excellent. Just checking whether we had to stall.
Nope. And as you're coming in, you can see that there are some people sort of hanging around Vandro's, looking into the blacksmiths.
Okay, Lafelle, whatever happens, we cannot let them actually get their hands on the ruby.
No, of course.
Because the thing that will make this plan go really to shit is if they manage to mount the ruby in the weapon and then...
That was very much a Krobos thing, though, wasn't it? Like, he was supposed to be the one to do all that. With him out of the picture, do you think that the cultist will still even know how?
I don't want to risk it.
No, fair.
I think Vandro might take it just as I am an artisan, I will make this thing kind of challenge, and then it will just take some stupid red claw to melt all of our faces.
Yeah, no, best not take a risk there, right?
So delay and dissemble until the insurrection begins.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So your caravan sort of moves through the gate
slowly,
and the guards, as soon as you're in, they'd like forget you even exist, right? They're kind of looking outwards. And as you're going into this square tavern over to the right, lots of people going in there. It's coming up to lunchtime, so it's time to get busy. It's kind of a few noises, sounds like a few people might be having a bit of a tavern brawl in their kind of situation. It's all lively, some music going on, sort of pipes and drums type thing, just low, and in the background you can kind of hear it. And there's hovels, people moving about, and as you kind of get into the square, you can see now that there is a green claw by the building, at some brute squad, and they were kind of looking into the building, and they seem to be talking about something. And you come as you come rumbling up, you see Will, the shop assistant, who's kind of standing there. If you remember, he's there with the kind of stall shop area. He's kind of like, "Hey, mister," and there to one side where all the forges were. If you remember, you could look in and see them all hammering away, but then there was like the shop bit on the end. He's standing there, and he's kind of going, "Anybody need a sword? You got a chain? We got lovely chainmail. We got lovely chainmail." And he's kind of trying his, salesman's pitch from the side of the street, but people aren't really listening to him. And he looks across and sees you guys, and he's like, "Oh, hell, you're here. How goes it? Shall I?" He looks between you and like the caravans, and then like the people all around, and he's like, "Should I fetch Vandro?"
Can you fetch Vandro without fetching any of the crab people?
Well, they're watching some of the components being put together. There's become a bit of a buzz. They're kind of a bit obsessed with it. They came down this morning and feel that things are approaching. I can't remember what they said. They said some kind of word,
Conjugation.
Something like that. Let me see what Vandro's up to. And he kind of goes in the back. Do you guys want to go in the shop, or do you want to stay by the caravan? You're going to stay out in the market?
I think we will stay by the caravan.
In the square.
Some distance we kind of churn. Could you distribute the guards discreetly through the crowd, please?
Sure. And he starts getting people a little bit closer, but spread out, kind of ready to protect from a certain direction. And after a minute, not where he went in, but down the side of the building, down like the alleyway running along the side of it, you see a door open, and Vandro steps out, and he's like,
We get the wagon down there?
no, it's not that big.
Dodecimus is with us, isn't he?
He is.
Hello, Dodecimus. Could you stay with the wagon, please, and make sure that no one else approaches it on pain of pain?
That I can do.
Okay, if they're crab cultists, then don't warn them. If they're just villagers, then warn them. Okay?
Certainly. And he turns around and says to a nearby villager, "Step back on pain of pain." And this person like walks away, and then like
Thank you.
the kind of the crowd sort of thin out immediately around the carriage, and he kind of looks pretty pleased with himself, and he stands guard over the caravan.
Go over.
Who's
Come
going to
on,
go down?
Clovis.
All three of you.
I think it feels like it.
Yeah.
So Vandro's there, and you come down the alleyway, and he's like, "What's going on?"
Rebellion.
I was going to ask him whether he wanted to maintain his neutrality before we told him, but you just told him.
He was always going to maintain his neutrality. He was very clear about his position when we met him at the first time.
I
Can you
just
not
wanted to
torch
check
my
in.
forge?
We don't want to torch anything.
We want to protect your forge.
rebellions have a tendency to like lead to buildings on fire.
Well, you need to take that up with Paffel Jaffet and with Berdeth.
God, fuck. Oh, fine.
We'll do our
Fine.
best to keep your forge safe.
Sure.
We'll need it.
Well, look, I've got there right there. That guy, Chell. He's
green
like
arm.
second in line.
Well, he's actually first,
He's first in line
now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
Shit.
Hey, Lafal, if you walked up behind him and hit him with your mace, do you think you would just like straight away?
If we can manage to put the mace in the back of the face, yeah.
Maybe you could get Vandro to put that kind of letter on it that we talked about.
Yeah, currently it's
Look,
just
I
an
need
F.
to get back, right? You've got the ruby over there, right? He sort of looks past you.
Yeah.
Someone's going to spot that soon, so you're going to have to deal with them one way or another.
Mm.
I'm going to get my guys indoors where it's safe. If you
Yes.
don't
Good
mind.
idea.
Do you have a way to close up the forge? It looks, I mean, it's a stout building.
We've got internal rooms we can move inside.
Okay.
No one's going to come inside. There's too much fire and stuff and hot metal and things. It's dangerous. Look, just I quite like that tavern as well, right? So if you could get them not to burn down my forge or that tavern, then I know that's asking a lot, right?
Well, I don't believe we brought fire with us, so
Yeah, we're not here to torch the place. We're here to liberate the
I
place.
don't really think it's us that Vandro is worrying about.
Fair.
I think it is the other insurrectionists. I think, Vandro, that you make a powerful argument for the good of the town, and I think you would be a valuable addition to the incipient town council that will need to run this place.
Well, tell them they can come and talk to me, and we'll see.
I like his
But
neutrality.
that Paffel
personally.
Jaffet guy, he's dodgy.
That is
What
evident.
what is he? Have you met him?
Yes, we
Who's
Yes.
met him? Yeah.
Yes. It did not go well, but that was partly because the crab cult came and invaded the bar.
Oh no, I didn't like him. I got a dodgy feeling from him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Didn't sit right.
But it's about balance, is it not? It is about balance. We have Bereth, who represents the god, and then we have Paffel Jaffet, who represents the scum and villainy of humanity, and then we have Andro in the middle, who provides the fulcrum around which the town operates. And Gerd, of course.
Oh, shit. What are you signing me up for? Like being town council or something? Look, I don't want to know right now. Let's just get through the next 24 hours, all right?
That's what we said yesterday.
And it went well.
It did.
No, no, it did not. We succeeded. It did not go well.
Succeeding.
Why are you telling me
Is
this?
it going well?
Why are you telling me this?
I died
Look.
twice.
I'm going inside now. Good luck.
To you two.
He goes in and he shuts the door.
Lafal, I think you should ambush them with your mace in the back of his head while he's busy looking at the pieces. We know the Green Claw people were quite dangerous. Clobos was quite dangerous.
Yeah, it seems if we can knock that guy out from the outset, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So you're gonna go back to the caravan?
Sure.
Okay. As you go back to the caravan, you see the green clawed, the second echelon Chell standing there, and he is holding something that looks like it's like a glass tube
Oh shit!
with a brass coil going around it, and he's kind of holding it like in reverence, but also trying to sort of look through it. And when you see one of the other people come close towards it, and he kind of looks at them in an accusatory way, and he seems to be regarding this piece. And there is a woman standing in front of him, and then you hear Vandro's voice from the background say, I think it's lunch. Everyone pack up. It's lunchtime.
Well,
Is Laffel doing a backstab?
If we're going to hit him, we should hit him now.
a back smash. Yeah. If I can get to his back.
Okay, as you approach, some of the brute squad with him notice that the caravan is here. Right, he's like consumed by looking at this strange object. But one of they're here. Sir, Chell, look. And as you kind of step next to him, like that, he kind of turns around, and there's a very stunned look on his face as you go to whack him in the head. So we're going to have combat.
Well, this massive mace?
There
No.
are 5 of the brute squad,
Sleep.
and this guy is going to get hit in the face, right?
Yes.
So you get a +2, I think. Let me see.
I believe it's a surprise attack.
Mm.
Yes. Is that a +2?
I think so. There's a long list of things you get pluses
There is a list of things, isn't there? Here we go. Where are we?
See, if I was tactically sound, I would have cast Bless before we'd started. But I'm not.
They might have sensed the magic. You don't know what they are capable of.
Thank you for making it sound like I was tactically thinking that.
If it helps, I feel blessed regardless.
I'm going
You're
to say
blessed by our company.
There you go.
I'm going to say he's in an awkwardly inconvenient position. He's holding this giant, really big glass tube that he doesn't want to damage in any way whatsoever. As he turns around and looks at you, so you get with armor class is reduced by 2, but you add 2 to your roll. Same diff.
Rightio. So +2 for that, and another +2 for a surprise. Is that correct?
Or was it just that?
Just the
Or-
+2.
Just a +2.
Oh no, sorry, rear attack +2. Yep, there you go. So +4.
+4.
You
Sweet.
get the backstab. Nice.
Not my own face, please. Hey, it's
Wow.
Oh my lord.
There we go.
Okay, so you did. You hit -2, armor class -2. You definitely hit him.
very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
10 points of damage as well.
10 points of damage. So he turns and he's like, no, and the mace
Backstab.
hits him in the face. His nose smashes, blood shoots down his face, and into the tube that he's holding.
No!
And he's like, ah. Let's see if he.
Well, according to head works.
Sorry, I've just got to get his saving throws right. I'm going to make an avoid saving throw just to see if he drops the tube.
I mean, the glass work must be really tricky in a fantasy, medieval, sci-fi setting.
He
bet,
fails.
yeah.
He drops the tube. It hits the floor. It doesn't smash.
Ooh.
Oh.
And he's like, ah! And he's like stunned. Right, let's roll initiative.
Lafal, you initiated, you roll for us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you know it.
Just D6, wasn't it?
It is just D6.
Great.
All right, okay. So, it's you guys to go first. So, melee, missile, magic.
Magic.
So, Lafal, you're in melee range.
Yes.
You have started this fight,
Mm.
surprised him. You got the surprise round, right? That was your.
Whack.
Now, proper combat. Can you hit yourself in the face? That's the question.
Probably.
I've proven I can. I've proven that.
So
I'm done with it.
The
Didn't
brute squad
like
around him are like, you know, that moment. It's like all the blades are coming out, and you're like, you can have another strike at him if you wish.
Take
Oh,
off the
yes.
head of this snag.
it. Is
Oh,
just
you get
all
two
regular.
attacks this round, don't you?
Oh, do I?
Yes, because you get 3 every 2 because you have weapon mastery.
Oh yeah, of course. Right. Well, first one. Whop. Minus.
Okay, so you hit him again in the same place, and his
Making a
whole
dent.
whole face caves in. Teeth go down his throat,
Oh,
and
that's
he
unfortunate.
drops to his knees.
Oh, that's not pretty.
No.
And his little hand with the green claw, like,
claw.
does like 3 pathetic little snip twitches, and then he collapses onto the floor.
Oh, see, I'm sad
At your
for him
feet.
now.
And the brute
Almost
squad
bad for him.
all look at you like, oh. Some of them are like, ah. There's still this slow-mo thing going on. So you were in melee, so you gone. Either of you two wanted to step and melee a brute squad?
No.
No? Okay. Anyone want to do missile from where you are?
See, I was going to do magic.
That's fine. You can do magic. There's 5 of these guys.
Okay, fine. I'll stick with the original plan then.
Okay. So not missile.
Not missile.
Magic.
Magic. So Jean would like to, if I can move in magic.
You can take a little step. Yeah.
Does that little step get me on top of the cart?
I'd say like hanging from, like you step up, not like
Yeah.
right on top. That would be
Maybe-
like a proper climb.
Maybe
You
they're
can,
on
like-
the riding board or something, just a little bit raised
Yeah,
up.
exactly. You can get like a few feet off the ground, so you've got a bit of a view.
Yes. So a few feet off the ground, bow in hand, because I've got a ranged weapon. Because no more of this melee bullshit. And I will cast bless. I will call down the blessing of the Raven upon our beautiful rebellion against the evil crab people, and I'll do it very loudly.
Okay. People are looking around. You've learned a few things from Bereth as well, from his.
That's why I
public
wanted to stand
speaking
up higher,
Yeah,
you
you're
see.
still, there's a small rock you put your foot on, and
old-
you kind of do this loudly, and you cast bless. What does bless do, Aldin?
All allies within 25 feet of the caster are sanctified by the spell, gaining a +1 on any saving throw versus fear, and a +1 on all attack rolls.
All the peasants are blessed.
Furthermore, NPCs, henchlings, love it, each gain a +1 bonus on any morale checks.
Excellent. That's handy.
Mm.
Okay, so you stand up and you say this, and against the crab god, and people in the square around you, and they're kind of moving, to the tavern or away, sort of turn around and hear you, and you can see a twinkle in their eye. You don't know whether it's the blessed, you don't know whether it's the spirit of rebellion, but something seems to stir in the emotions of these people around you as you cast your spell. And the brute squad are looking even more worried. Alika, what are you doing?
I'm doing slightly more narrative. She's going to pull out from the back of the caravan a fire arrow she prepared earlier,
Okay.
and she's going to launch it into the sky
Ah,
to
okay.
alert Bereth
Signal.
that the rebellion has begun.
Okay. So you pull an arrow, you reach in and you grab the end of an arrow, and it cuts to the outside of the town. And Bereth and his men are there, and he's standing there going, "Today will be the day that we take back our town." And behind him, whoosh, your arrow flies into the air, and they all go, and he goes, "It is a sign, let us go, attack, go." And they charge down towards the gates. And you know, some of them are shooting arrows and some of them trying to get into the gates before they can close them properly, and a kind of brawl ensues on that other gate. And if you remember, that other gate is where his sack is up on the head on
On the wall, yes.
on the wall. Okay, so we'll go back to your square, and that was your go. Decimus is going to go in and step up. He's going to move and then melee because he wasn't quite close enough beforehand. So let's get Decimus out. Here we go. With his brutal sword. Roll. He hit armor class 4. That's a hit. 9 points of damage. So he steps up and he just doesn't, not at the neck, but about here, he chops through a guy's head. Boom. And it flies through the air, lands on the floor, and a peasant cheers and kicks it into a fire in the forge.
And that, just my friends, is how football was invented.
Brute ball.
Yeah.
Like golf.
And it's like, it starts to be a cheer, and you see a few people around, like looking like, hang on, can we do violence on these people who are subjugating us? And like a couple of them reach over and just grab like pokers and from inside the forge, like start to pull out, and you can see suddenly why Vandro was maybe worried that his whole place might get burned to the ground. They all start to pick out, like, they're not weapons, but they're tools, and they're made of cast iron, so they're dangerous, and they all start getting sort of clubs effectively, and you know, start to pull out. This is all the villagers who are on your side start to move over there and arm themselves. The rest of the brute squad are looking very worried, and it's now their go. So I'm going to actually make a little morale roll for them, because I think, you know, they're not completely stupid when it comes to that kind of predicament, right? They don't have a morale penalty. You had a morale bonus for your guys, but not a penalty for them. So let's roll this. They fail. So the four remaining brute squad
I would
turn and start to try to run away. And a group of sort of youngish guys who have armed up chase them off into the street. And they're like, people are going, yeah, who's, you know, and one of the miners goes, "The Grey Lady is here to bring us freedom." And you cast off your
I cast off my thing and hold my trident in the air.
Yeah, and they're like,
"For the freedom of Huskrin!"
And people are like, yeah, cheering, and everyone in the tavern like leans out the window, and they're all like, "Way!" They don't know what's going on, but there's some sort of ruck going on, so they're all sort of cheering. And Decimus sort of looks at you and says, "I would take advantage of this momentum if I were you."
What an excellent idea. We should advance. We should, Grey Lady, if you could gather your adoring horde and get them to march on the temple.
To the temple! We take down the crab folk!
Okay. So you start to head into the town centre. You remember you kind of went past that residential area where there was the temple and those folk it seems to be fairly quiet. The nearby hovels that you go past.
It's a trap.
And you head through the streets towards the large central market square. And the market is going on. Yeah, people there. But there are brute squad sort of dotted around. And quite quickly, your group of people kind of get mixed in with the throng. The brute squad are there. There's fights and scuffles going on. And you're kind of looking over. You can see the Gerd's Tavern, which he's abandoned, and it's kind of a bit burnt. There's the temple over the far side, but then there's the road leading up to the main temple, the old sackmaster's house, and then the road to the docks. So what do you guys want to try and do? Oh, sorry, you're aware there's fighting going on the other side of the... You can see now where Bereth's forces have made their way inside the gate. Over there, not in this market square, but kind of like... You can see the fighting, There's dust rising and people shouting and stuff going on over there.
Maybe try to direct some of our forces to attack from behind on the gate. So like, Chen, take as many as you can convince and help Bereth break down that gate, but get the forces inside.
Yes, Grey Lady. And he turns to like a few people and says, you, and he sort of points like with his hand like this, and a bunch of guys turn around and goes, come with me, grab what you can, he says to one guy who's just standing there with no weapon. And he like grabs like a broom from the side of someone's market stall, and they're like all run off. People are now looting, and there's kind of like the market, unfortunately the stalls are getting disrupted, the fighting's going on, and there's actually a load of people who are trying to sell things who are like, oh, get out, no, we don't need, no, what, like getting knocked over and things like that. And it's all it's getting quite chaotic.
To the temple!
Okay, so you guys are going to march over to the... Okay, you kind of fight your way through, right? So what we're going to have to do is make a moderate roll. Everyone make a moderate roll. See if not you get like hurt on the way through your thing. If you have a dexterity modifier, then it's a simple roll. Success.
Roll 6. Yay!
Success. Okay. So there are people, brute squad guys who are like standing around, but someone near you kind of punches him in the face, or like some sort of weird fruit comes flying across and smashes another one in the face, and he's like, ugh, and you kind of make your way through the market square, and in short order you can see the temple ahead of you, and there are two red echelon priests, cultists, standing outside the doorway. They look actually like brute squad who have been hastily promoted. Let's put it that way. They got short swords, they got shields, they're wearing leather armor under their robes. Yeah, and their kind of arm and sword have just been hastily redded up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of a bit splashy. It's not as carefully done as the other cultists you've seen. And their cloaks are actually more like capes, kind of thing. So they kind of looks like maybe they're aware their numbers are dwindling and they needed to promote a few people to back it all up. And as you approach, there are two of them there, right? And you guys had initiative, so you're not in melee range, right? But you are in missile or magic range.
Missile!
Okay, so Jean wants to do missile attack.
Why not?
Sure.
Elika do the same. I have a short bow as well these days.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll hurl insults.
I'm going to push the button. See what happens.
Armor class 5. That is a hit. 2 hit points of damage. Okay, so what is it? You've got a short bow.
Short bow.
Okay. So as you're running through the marketplace, you see these guards and you're like... This kind of scratches one of them. And he's like, oh, they're coming. And you see them sort of... They don't come towards you. They're kind of almost brace for the attack. Any magic?
I think Alakazam was going to have a shot.
Oh, sorry,
He was.
short
He
bow
did.
as well. Same
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah.
Okay. You shoot him and he goes down. He's like, he's got like 2 arrows sticking out of him. And the other one leans over and he says, I would have followed you, my captain. No. No, the other guy's standing there and he's like, what?
We put 3 arrows in him. You can use that line.
And he runs away.
I'm liking the new Brute Squad. I think they really
I
have
like-
what it takes.
I like morale rolls because
Yeah.
it makes sense,
Yeah.
right? If you're
It
the
makes
two of
sense,
you
yeah,
and your
absolutely.
mate just got arrowed to death, you'd be like, fuck this. So, yeah, he runs. He doesn't drop his stuff and run. He just runs off down a side alley. The alley where it had the graffiti, grey lady down it. And you approach the temple. The doors are shut.
Lafelle.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock with my mace, basically. See if this
Knock
thing is
with
open.
my mace. You bash the door.
Hmm?
And it swings open. with a-
Excellent.
with a long creak. And as the door opens,
Shield up.
Lafal, you can sense an evil presence within
Oh.
the temple.
Showtime. This might be it, guys.
The doors open. And in the temple, standing, well, for a moment you think, oh, that relief of that giant crab is very 3D.
Yo, balls.
But then this figure moves. And I think Sean told you guys about the painting on the wall of a big crab astride the town, ridiculously sized crab. This crab isn't that big, obviously, because the
good.
town's painted on the wall that big. But this is a big, hang on, let me get the monster book.
Maybe we
Ooh.
could just close the door again and go away.
And lying on the floor beneath it, having just finished the painting,
Not the artist.
is the
Not-
torn open carcass
Oh.
of the artist, as if
Aw.
something emerged from his body when this wondrous piece of art was complete. And you have to admit, this is one of the most beautiful murals you have ever seen in your life. The artwork is fantastic. The rendering, the brushwork, it is amazing. And as this creature turns around, you see that this isn't actually a crab. This is a crab man. And this creature, Alika, these originate from the ocean planet Poseidonos, and they are a highly technological alien race that is hell-bent on conquering Hyperborea. And this creature, although not some kind of giant crab man overlord, turns around, and on his arm is a gauntlet-like small version of the drawing you saw at Vandro's,
Oh dear.
mounted on its arm.
I was starting to think we should have brought that with us.
Okay, but as you watch, this thing is kind of moving as if it's recently emerged, and kind of a bit of ichor is kind of sliding off of its shell and body. And it stands up and it turns and it looks at you. It's got a weirdly, its midsection is kind of humanoid torso, shoulders and arms, which end in one in a big crab hand, one in a small crab hand with a mounted laser gauntlet. And it has 4 legs, 4 crab-like legs coming out of the bottom. Its head is kind of flat, with dark, sort of pearlescent eyes on the front and horrible little mandible teeth. And it kind of turns around and is wanting to fight you. So I think we should probably... Oh no, you guys have initiative, right? So let's say this is a new round of combat because you just defeated the last guys outside. This guy is turned around. None of you are in melee range to begin with, right? You're at the other side of this room, but you could in a round go across the room and get in melee range if you want to. You could also run out of the building and try and shut the door and get away from him. But this thing looks quite serious, and you're aware, Lafal, that if it were set free in the marketplace, it might torch the whole place and kill most of the villagers. So it is, it is there.
Okay, so basically it's hero time.
Yes.
Where did Decimus go?
Probably guarding the ruby still, like you asked him to.
Oh, shit. That's
Got
good.
this. I believe in us, guys.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Magic.
Magic.
Shooting.
Is anyone... No one's in melee range, so we've got missile first. Okay. So, let's
Might as well give it a go.
Yeah, give it a go. Why not?
Or it might be magic. I don't know. But no, let's do the shooting. Gonna kind of split off.
Yeah, you're going to kind of fan out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of leave Lafell in the middle,
that
probably.
Sounds good.
And take a side and then presume that Alaka will take another side.
Okay.
And go for the shooting. We're still blessed, I believe, because it's 3 turns, which is 30 minutes. I just looked up. I don't think we're insurrecting quite that long. Hey!
Critical, nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, your critical thing for your Fifi thing?
That is my first hit. That's my first critical hit.
Okay, well that's
and I
good.
actually did full damage. Oh
Wow.
my god! Wow.
That is impressive.
Oh, this is such a good day. Okay.
Okay, so
I can die happy.
So you did 7 damage.
I'm going to roll on this
Just
critical
need to
hit
do
for
a
thief class thing.
Quick.
See what that does. I've got an extra
looks-
2 damage apparently.
Okay, so you do 9 damage.
I'll take that.
Okay. Sorry.
It's fine. Given my previous damage was 2, I will take 9.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, right? Let me just I just need to get his saving throws in there. No doubt.
Is
Because
he
someone's
immune
going
to
try
non-magical damage?
No, he's not that bad. But he's just a taste of what's yet to come along the striped gulf. Okay, so you do 9 damage to him. Good. That is a solid hit. You enter the room, and actually this guy looks slightly less armoured than that giant crab that you fought. That was just all crab, right? All chitin and carapace, and you were like, fuck, where do I hit him? This guy's got like abs, and you're like, okay. Fucking, I mean, he's all green, but you can see fleshier parts, and it goes in. And there's
Crab abs.
horrible noise from this creature. You're like, oh my god. It's gross and disgusting and kind of puts you on edge.
Shot in the crab pack. Nice.
Okay, so that was your missile go. Anyone else doing missile? No? Okay. So next is magic.
Boop, 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 boop. As he's a single creature, it's 5 hit dice worth of sleepiness.
Cool.
So I don't know if he's going to go to sleep, but I'm going to try it.
Right, and I would get a save against...
No, you don't get a save against sleepiness.
Do you
the
not?
sleep spell has no saving throw.
Oh, okay, cool.
Alternatively, the spell can be targeted as a single creature of 5 hit dice or fewer. So I don't know if he's got 5 hit dice or fewer.
He has.
Then he is asleep.
Okay, so the
Fingers crossed.
crabman falls asleep. Drops to the floor.
Get those Decimus.
No, Lafal.
Or a really big pair of pliers.
I thought we might need some breathing space.
Yes, because
Okay.
as soon
Clever.
as we hit it again, it will wake up. So,
Yeah, but also because it's now laying down on the floor, you could probably like smash it with your mace really
It's an
hard.
automatic hit. You just roll damage.
also the thing that I learned from doing the coup de grace on Globus is make sure that all of your friends are feeling like they also want to be having a hit at the same moment. Not that they've already hit something else and they don't really feel like it right then. So just as a tactical tip that I've picked up.
Maybe wait like 6 seconds, 6 to 10 seconds.
You know,
before-
until we all feel the moment. Yes. Okay. And then we all do either the clubbing or the stabbing with the big fork or whatever we feel like.
That's fair.
Sounds good.
I assume now we're all going to spend the next turn just walking close to him, get ready to wail on him while he's asleep.
Just picking an angle.
Yes, will be roused if shaken or slapped. Okay, so
Cool.
not awakened from normal noise. What's going on out in the market square from here would be considered just kind of normal noise, right?
Is
So
it at all possible to remove the arm-mounted mini laser thing before?
you can try.
Yeah, I don't like the way you said that. Nah, we'll just hit.
Okay.
So, Lafal, if I hold my like trident like this and you hit the end like a hammer, do you think that'll do more damage?
We can try.
See, I like the way you said that.
Just make
So-
sure, Alika, he doesn't hit you in the face.
I mean, yeah.
There
The
is
critical
always that.
one.
Yeah.
Critical one could be split between one of the two of us. So she's going to hold her trident over one of the eyes
Okay.
and tell Lafal to smash it.
Okay. Well, you two roll your damage dice.
I'm just gonna hit the thing.
2 damage from the trident.
Oh, okay.
Dear, dear.
I don't know how to roll just damage, so I'm just rolling that, which is the same. There we go. 8.
Jean.
I'm gonna do Raven Mace with backstab, which I think is 2d8.
Hit the trident, John.
Oh, for God's sake! And we're back to being crap.
Okay. So, you all run over and you're like, it's like horrible, gross juices and crab blood kind of spilling out of it. And as you finish, it
Thanks up.
wakes up
Fuck.
and it fires its laser gauntlet. Okay, let's have a look at this.
Craps with friggin' laser beams.
Love it.
How many hit points has everyone got?
No,
Yes.
Okay,
7.
so it's going to fire it twice,
Oh, great.
and I'm going to roll to see who it's going to fire at. Okay,
Okay.
so
Fine.
1 to 2 is Aldoon, 3 to
Okay.
4 is Dennis, 5 to 6 is Dan. Oh, whoops. That wouldn't work, would it? Dan. And then I will roll 1d4 to,
Not the healer.
and then Dennis. Okay, so
The 2 highest hit point people, it's not the worst thing to happen.
Suppose, yeah.
I approve this message.
I'm gonna. This is for Laugh All Good. What's your armor class?
4.
4.
Ha.
Missed. A laser scratches between your legs and hits the wall behind and then cuts out before it gets anywhere near you. And then for Alika,
That'll be a hit.
4.
Yep.
That's 8 points of damage. Laser
Ouch.
scratches across your body.
I might have been
Serious damage.
Yeah, half my health.
Ooh,
Thanks.
okay. Right. And it kind of clambers to its feet. But that's its go. So it is now back to you guys. You're all in melee range.
Yes.
I'ma hit it.
Okay.
You've got bless and flanking.
Oh, I
Yes.
forgot about Bless.
Yeah. So
Flanking.
you're now at +3. I think that is, isn't it? It's
Yep.
flanking. Yeah, flanking's +2.
Plus
isn't it?
3.
Yep.
Cool. Fire. Hey.
Critical hit.
Other kind of critical hit. Plus 2 damage, so 5.
Okay.
Low roll.
Wow.
So you swing
Yeah.
with an almighty crack. A split forms down the top of its shell on its head, and it
Cool.
splits open, and its body drops to the floor. Blood spraying up the mural behind it, kind of strangely right up the middle of the crab on the wall.
Oh.
And the body collapses down.
Ooh.
And kind of weird meat and jelly kind of spilling out of it onto the floor. But it is dead.
Wow.
Pleasant. I'm going to relinquish purloin, even one might say, the arm laser.
I thought you might.
Okay. So it takes a little while because it's half grafted, half strapped, right? And this thing is kind of mutated, formed out of the dead body of this guy through some weird magic that Klobos clearly put on him, like before he started doing the artwork. But this thing is a gauntlet-like laser rifle over one claw, and inside is something you can kind of pinch that then fires a laser, and it is plus 3d6 damage.
Wow.
Yep.
Mm.
Range of 150, and it has 142 charges in it.
141 now, right?
Well, no, it fired twice. So
Not
they normally
including-
have 144.
Oh,
Oh,
I like
so-
it. Base 12. Nice.
Yeah,
The best base, obviously.
indeed.
Oh, this is nice. He's pointing at his face.
Yeah. What
Don't
does this
look
do?
down the barrel.
Like Luke Skywalker with the lightsaber. What's this?
That was your father. Oh.
Yeah, that's the one he killed all those younglings with. So, yeah, it is dead on the floor, juice pouring out, and Lafal, you can still feel an evil presence in the room. And as you're standing there,
Is it depending?
where the blood has gone up the wall, you can sense like the wall seems to be shifting, cracking, and there's a trembling of the ground, and suddenly a crack goes almost emanating from where the wall meets the ground, across the floor, like, and up the wall. Big crack. And then it's done. And like for a moment you're like, what? And the evil presence has gone.
Well, that was a thing. I did. It might be a bit early to say, but I dare say that is vanquished.
You
yeah,
sanctified-
it looks very dead.
oh,
No, I mean the
or
crack in the.
sanctified the temple?
Yeah, something like that.
We
Probably
might not have time to do that right now.
No,
given there's a full rebellion.
Is there? Is that
outside.
still
You
happening?
kind of look over your shoulder and there's like some buildings are on fire and people are running around.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
I think we need Bereth to do one of his speeches to like get the people to not burn the buildings?
Yes, we need some general calm, and then we need an advance on Bereth's old house, the Sackmaster's place, because that is the last stronghold of the crab folk.
I'll go find a rock.
Okay, so you're going to go out into the marketplace.
Hopefully the rebels have broken through the gate and we can find
Well,
Bereth somewhere.
As you do, and you're because you had to go up the steps to the temple, so you're in a slightly elevated position. You can see the road that comes in on your left. Bereth's men now coming through there, and one of them has got like a standard of Huskrin and is like waving it, and you can see that there is a figure darting through the crowds wearing a sack on his head. And some people are like, there's like a thing going, a moment going on, and for a moment there seems to be like everyone kind of stops what they're doing, and just off somewhere a brute squad guy gets a jug smashed over his head. And you see Bereth stand up, and you can't quite hear him for where you are, but he kind of clambers up on a barrel, holding onto the side of a building, and he's good people of Huskrin. You can't really hear him from where you are, and he's got a bag on his head, so it's a little bit challenging. You feel it, and the people around sort of cheer, and there's like a and someone runs over, and it's Churn, and it's like, oh, we got through. We unbarred their way, and they got in. So it was the right move. Oh, we're taking the town back. I mean, this is crazy.
Well done.
Bereth told me that Pavel Jaffet's having trouble with the fish men in the tunnels.
Oh, the silly fish people.
So we're going down there now to go and help clear those out.
Okay, is this the most important thing, or is it important that we rouse the last of the crab people?
Some of us, not all of us.
Okay,
There's a bunch of us going down there. And the guys behind him are like, yeah, those fucking fish guys. Yeah, we're going to take them down. I think Bereth's looking for you guys and wants to head towards his old place.
Okay, well,
Probably a good idea that we do that because there's this crab thing here was in this one.
Yes, we have
Kind of looks
purged this
around, like,
temple
what
of the malevolence of the crab.
Well, is there going to be more of that up there?
Possibly.
Who knows?
Okay.
No.
Good
I
luck.
could.
I'm going to go fight fish folk.
That's probably better, yeah.
Yeah.
See the decision you have made there, Churn? Just writing this down.
And they ran off.
Fine.
See you, Sean.
So be in your review letter.
Damn it. I forgot it was that time of year again.
You make sure you show up for that review. That's just the main thing.
Then you have won.
Yes.
How are my compatriots looking for health?
Ooh,
I'm all
on a
right.
scale of 1 to 17, Jean's
Yeah.
looking about a 12. I don't know.
John, on a scale of 1 to 10, John is looking at about a 7. But that's fine.
Okay, then I will do this to myself then. Of course, it's only 2. There you go. I've just
It's
put my
worth
hand
a
on
go.
myself
Yep.
and just
You
did
don't
myself
have to touch yourself to do Cure Light Wounds, because you are
not?
always touching yourself.
Doesn't have to, but that doesn't stop him.
Indeed. Indeed.
the glorious day.
So, as you're standing there, and Churn says this and heads off, Bereth is clearly, there's a cheer, right? And he's finished his speech. And although it's hard now to see his face, he's got holes cut in his sack, he looks over at you guys. And
Hello!
you wave, and he's like, ah. And he jumps off the barrel and kind of heads over towards you with a squad of guys.
It's very sprightly, isn't
He
he?
is, I was
It
just
is,
thinking,
yeah.
it's very spry for a man of his age.
And he
And
runs over
complexion.
and he says, thank you, my brave friends. We are freeing Huskrin. What a great day this is.
It is indeed a great day. We have purged this temple of the crab
He looks in and he's, what
maliciousness.
the more crabs?
Yeah, this one a full-on crab crab entities.
Actually, they're like aliens that want to conquer everywhere. They're called like Poseidians. They're like weird things. We can talk about it
What?
later.
Oh
They're
my
a whole.
God.
They're
From another
aliens.
world.
Yes.
Well, then let's send them back to that world they came from.
Good idea.
Or die, one of the two. You know, go
like
back
it.
or die. Leave.
Make a
The only good
speech.
crab's a dead crab.
Agreed.
Or one that has left. I mean, you know,
That too.
sometimes it is better to give your enemy the opportunity to retreat than they don't fight to the death. You know, just saying.
Perhaps. Although these creatures seem hell-bent on destroying us, so I think we should give them short shrift.
Okay, do we have any shrift?
Well, I've only got long shrift. We'll have to chop it up into short
I
shrift, and
didn't
we'll
bring
bring
any.
that with us.
I did not know.
Yeah.
I have scissors.
Maybe
though,
next time.
so-
Think about that.
Okay. Yes. Plan better. So
Okay.
sorry.
Okay, right. Well, men. He turns around. Men, are you ready? And they're like, yes. Right, let us be off to my house.
Such a good battle cry.
They tell to my house. I can see my house from here. They tell me they've turned it into some kind of strange temple.
They have indeed.
Well, we shall see. As you you head down that road, and there's less kind of looting going on now, and there's less kind of fighting going on. There's more people kind of picking things up and helping people going on, which warms your hearts. People of Huskarinn are good deep down, it seems, although downtrodden. And the few Brute Squad members who are left are kind of dropping weapons and giving up or running off into the streets, you know, to try and hide. And as you kind of progress towards what was the Sackmaster's home, you kind of round this corner, and there's a little courtyard in front of it. And this building is a 2-story, very fancy hovel, with a little kind of balcony bit running around the top floor. So the top floor is smaller than the ground floor, which is quite wide, kind of bigger than the tavern. And from what you've heard in your previous visits to town, he's got kind of audience chambers where people come in and propose changes or laws or problems, and seek his help from the Sackmaster and the people that he governs over. The crab people have built 2 staircases, wooden structures that curve up to the balcony at the top, right? And on the top of that smaller structure on the first floor, we're in Britain, so say first floor, ground floor, first floor, there is some sort of wooden structure with kind of handles, kind of built, and it looks like someone could stand up there and maybe maneuver this around. It looks like something is simply waiting to be placed on top of this structure. And there are, as you approach, you can see people moving about. There are Archer Brute Squad up above who immediately start opening fire, right? And you can tell that there are people moving around inside the structure from the noise. You can't see them right now, but there also seems to be other strange kind of clacky noises coming your way.
Don't like the clacking noise. Not a big fan.
And the people up
It's
top shouting,
bad.
"For Kalkos, the god from under the sea, the god from Poseidonos," firing arrows down. And the Barrett's like, "Spread out, men! You guys up the right side. You." And he like looks at you guys for a moment.
I'll go with the laser.
Frontal up the top. Oh, you want to do a ranged shot on one of the
I
guys?
don't know how it works, but
You're going to point
want to
and
have
click.
a go. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would say you haven't got weapon mastery, right? So you're just
Definitely
making
not.
a straight roll. Maybe hang on.
There'd be a
You
penalty
get a
if he's not got a
penalty.
weapon. Yeah, if he's not got a weapon,
And
so
that
he's.
depends on your class, right?
You are a cleric.
So
right? Oh
minus-
no, thief. Purloiner. -2.
-2.
Yeah, the unskilled weapon attack penalty is -2 for a purloiner.
There you go.
Okay.
But it does 3d6 damage, so
Yeah.
you know
Plus, also, it's a laser. It's the eye of the crabness.
it is.
So even if it misses, I'd like to put the willies up them. That's a
Sure.
different gun. Yeah, I know. What am I rolling? Pete?
You're rolling
D20.
D20. Have
Minus
you got
2.
a fighting ability?
I've got a fighting ability of 1.
1. Okay. Yeah. So you roll a 1d20 minus 1 then, because you've got +1 for your fighting ability, minus 2 for not skilled.
Doesn't he get a bonus for his dex as well?
Oh, that's true.
He's got a dex bonus.
Dex is +1, and I'm
Okay.
still blessed.
Okay.
Oh, so she ends up being
So
+1.
just
Ends up with a +1.
plus
So
1.
1d20 plus
Okay. 1d20 plus 1. Rolled a 1d20 plus 1. I got a 9.
Got a 9. So that hits. What are we? No,
Pete, do
that's a
Thaco
miss.
then.
That's a miss.
Wait, wouldn't it be
Thaco's
the other way
19,
around? Wouldn't it
So that
be
hits an armor class 10.
Wouldn't it be -1 technically because you're trying to go down, aren't you, rather than +1?
Now you want to roll high, and then there's a subtraction. element.
Ah, yeah.
You subtract it from 19, and that's
Yeah.
the armor class that you
I
hit.
did not roll high.
No.
Ascending
I rolled
armor
it.
class just makes so much more sense, right? In D&D games, I know people love Thaco because it's what we had a long time ago.
Yep.
But it's not hard to do Thaco, right? But ascending armor class just makes more sense. Okay, so you
Can
miss.
make the laser skitter slightly.
Yeah, well, you like across the front of the building, and all of your guys are like, "Whoa, yeah!" And they're kind of charging in. Some guys running up the right flank, some guys running up the left staircase. And as this is going on, you see coming through 2 archways in the front of the building, 2 of these crabmen come charging through, like strange clothes, kind of sort of flapping off their bodies as they come through the openings, as if they have erupted from inside people's bodies. So we're going to have combat now. So we're going to roll initiative, yeah, and one of you guys will roll for all the good guys, and I'll roll for all the bad guys.
Go on, Lafar.
Most of the combat going around you will be narrative, unless you engage with something and bring it into your little combat zone. The 2 crabs are right in front of you, right? And there's you 3, Dodecimus, Bereth, and like 4. They're effectively the same as the brute squad, right? So I'll use the brute squad stats in front of these 2 crabmen. So who's going to roll for you guys?
Lafar, because he did a really good job last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Don't want to make it Aldoon since you fired your laser?
No.
All right.
No, well, me and Aldoon seem to always roll badly, so
You know what's going to happen now, right?
1.
It's fine. We have nominated you.
Yeah.
We all take responsibility.
Huzzah!
There we go.
I go first.
Boo.
Right. So everything else is going on. The guys up the top start firing arrows down at the guys running up the stairs, which is pretty bold to be running up the stairs at guys with bows and arrows. However, there are more guys running up the stairs than there are guys with bows and arrows. There's a couple of people fall, arrows protruding from them. And these 2 crabmen burst through drapes and knocking sort of the edges off the walls as they come through with their laser gauntlets. And they fire at you and your crew, right? So Dodecimus will get a shot. 2 other guys will get a shot. And I'm going to roll to see, because Bereth is with you 3, whether Bereth or one of you 3 gets shot at. Okay. So these guys have got 3 attacks.
Oh, balls.
So I'm going to roll 1d4.
Nap time.
1 is Aldoon, 2 is Dennis, 3 is Alika, and 4 is Bereth. Aldoon.
Oh,
Nap
no.
time.
Dennis.
I really object to dying for the cause.
Bereth. So Alika is not shot at.
That might be mildly useful because otherwise we might just get TPK'd by one guy.
Yeah.
Just comes out it's like zap, 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 and the team are dead.
Okay,
Thank you very
so
much.
Aldoon,
Hello.
gonna roll to shoot you.
Not me. My character.
Critical miss.
Hey, shoot yourself in the face. Go
Oh
on.
my god.
Hits
Right,
a
here we
mirror
go.
and bounces back at him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Self
yes!
critical
In the
hit.
face. In the face.
Now you know how it feels.
Oh my god. Right, so I critical hit myself.
Yep.
So what? And now I roll damage.
I guess.
On
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah,
On
yeah,
yourself,
3d6 on yourself, yeah.
7. Okay.
Those
But I
two
assume I need to
ones.
roll a critical hit for an NPC class.
I thought you did.
No, it says I've hit myself. Critical
Oh,
hit.
Critical hit.
Critical
Oh, yeah,
hit.
he's hit
Oh,
he's
yes.
critical hit himself.
And now onto the
Oh my
next
God.
table. Oh, nice.
Yes. Critical hit. 277.
Is it triple damage?
Here we go. Well,
Depends on what he rolls.
It's possible. Right, here we go. Critical hit results. Cleric, thief, or monster. Right, let's roll 1d6.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Plus 1 damage. Okay, so it takes 8 points of damage. So it comes stumbling out, and its first shot fires, but it's off balance, and it like through its giant claw, like, and you see it kind of scream in pain. Okay, so that was its shot at Aldoon. Right,
The
now it's
Raven
gonna-
God is with me.
Now it's going to shoot at Dennis. Sorry, at Laffel.
Mm.
Armor class 2,
Yeah, hits.
7 damage.
7 damage.
And then it's going to shoot at Bereth.
Oh, no.
Critical hit. Okay.
No, Bareth.
3 times damage. Okay. Bereth goes down. Laser cuts across him and he drops to the floor. He's going, oh! He's not dead, but he looks like he's down.
Oh, there was a triple dice damage in there.
Okay. And then I'm just going to roll 3 hits on the other guys just quickly. 1. Critical miss. Oh my god, these guys are terrible. What happens? Awkward stumble. One adjacent gets 1 free attack. No further attacks for the rest of the round. Ah, so it's like stumbles over, lands next to Dodecimus, who gets a free attack.
Bad.
Unless one of you guys want to have a free attack.
No, we'll let Decimus have some
Okay.
fun.
That was that side of the fight.
Critical hit! Oh my god, what's going on?
What is happening?
Plus 2 damage. So that's 8 damage on the other one. So they've both taken 8 points of damage in their own round. They come charging out and like they're newly formed crabmen. They're completely unable to control themselves.
Mm.
And they just tear the whole place up. Wow. How crazy is that? Okay. So
Thinking
that
these
was,
lasers are not very sensible weapons.
that was your guys' go. Their guys' go. So
That was
now
their
it's,
go.
now it's
Now
over
it's
to you
our go.
guys. So
See if we can do as much damage to ourselves as they do.
Yeah. So you aren't in melee range, but you can move into melee range. So no one's in melee right now, apart from Dodecimus.
Yeah. Mm.
So Dodecimus is going to have a go at that guy. That crab. And hits for 2 points. 4 points of damage, sorry. Okay,
In the-
cool. So that was him in melee. Right, then we go to ranged. Anyone want to do ranged?
Magic.
How damaged are folk looking?
The creatures?
No, Lefel and
Oh.
On a scale from 1 to 20, it's about a 6.
magic. I'm gonna hold magic then.
Okay, so no range combat. So magic, where you're standing.
After you, Adun.
Cure light wounds on Lefel.
Go for it.
Oh, somehow I critically missed a cure light wounds.
You
What?
can't critically miss. It automatically happens. That's how many you've set it up to do that. Your hit points. That's what you've rolled to do your hit points, right?
I just pushed the button.
Because it should look like that.
It should look like that. Well, I'll push that button then.
One.
It's still 1. It was 1 either way, but there you go.
1 hit point.
I'm not so used to the healing.
Hey, it's one more than I had before. It's appreciated.
Yep, better than nothing. Okay, so that was Jean. So now Alika.
I'm going to aim asleep at the balcony with all the archers on it.
Okay,
Nice.
cool. I like it. Right.
So 10 hit points worth of sleepiness, starting with the lowest up to the highest.
Okay. So you cast your magic, and you see a couple of guys like slumped to the floor. 2d8 hit dice of creatures.
Yeah.
So it's 10 hit dice of creatures.
Yeah, it's 10 hit dice of
so
creatures.
10 guys drop
within
to the floor.
I think it's a 20-foot radius. I think it is.
Yeah, so all the defenders on the parapets fall asleep.
Nice.
And you hear like and like the guys around like swarm up to the top. Okay, Bereth's lying on the floor. He's not going to do anything. Dodecimus has had a go. The Brute Squad guys. Here we go.
Does Lafal get to like charge in and fight?
Well, these guys are missile. I forgot to do them first. So they're going to shoot. Miss. 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 Okay, so they're like standing there firing arrows at these crabs, but it's bouncing off of their armor. And now, Lafal, if you want to move and attack,
Oh, absolutely.
you want to move into your one or the one that Dodecimus is fighting?
I'll take the other one.
Okay, I'll take the other one.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's enough to go around.
Okay,
And
let's go, Paladinio.
are we still blessed? Is that still going?
How long does that last?
Half hour.
No, half an hour. 3 turns. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. When did you cast it? Back at the gate?
No, at the foundry.
Yeah, okay. I think it's probably worn off by now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would accept that.
Cool. Swing and a crit. Haha.
How many crits are we going to have in one session?
All of them.
It's the finale, so here we go.
All
Let's roll
of
that critical
them.
hit.
3
Three
times
times
damage.
damage.
Yes!
Okay. Oh my god. You barrel in and bring your mace down on this creature. So how much damage do you do?
12 in total.
12 damage. Okay. And you deal it a crippling blow. Blood gushes out all over the place. But it's still not dead.
Mm.
But severely wounded. Okay. So that was all of you guys. The guys, the people storming the parapets have got up there. There's whole loads of kind of stabbing going on for the sleeping people, and they're surging into the building. Crabmen. So the crab guy is going to try and snip.
Be snippy.
He's going to snip. Oh no, I'll just put it on. Okay. Oh. Okay. So he's going to try and snip Dennis Lafal with his snippy.
Yep.
And again, because he gets 2 attacks with his claws.
Yep.
Oh, plus 2. 7 damage.
Really?
Oh, you down?
The fall goes down. I had 7 hit points.
Oh,
Damn it.
I thought you had 7 and then you got 1 added on.
Yeah.
No, I had 6
Oh, you had
out of a
Okay.
scale of 20.
Oh,
Okay.
damn it. There's just been one more.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
it kind of, and you drop to the floor. The other one is going to attack Dodecimus. What's his armor class? His armor
You'll be
class is
fine.
4. Oh, that's a hit. He's got that many hit points. And critical miss. Oh my god.
Hey.
Oh my god, what is going on? Here we go. Drop weapon.
10 feet away.
It's got a claw.
Yeah, it's a claw. It can't really drop its claw. Okay. So they have had their go. Over to you guys. Melee. Dodecimus will strike back. He's got 2 attacks this round. Nope. And nope. That's a miss. Ching, ching. Bouncing off the carapace. The archers are going to then fire. Oh no, sorry. Over to you guys first. What are you doing ranged?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Why not?
Are you doing laser gauntlet?
Oh yeah, let's go laser gauntlet. That worked so well last time.
Well, you don't have to. You can use your bow if you want
No, I want to go laser gauntlet. I figured it out this time. Hang on.
to. Got to point this end at them.
No, probably not.
No, I'm a class 8. Okay.
No. Okay, sorry.
It's a strange. It's built for like a claw, so it's kind of weird for human hands to wield it.
Next time. Okay, next time.
Alika, what are you doing this round? Are you doing ranged or are you doing magic? Can't hear you.
You've gone quiet. I'm gonna have to mime.
No. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Ah, there we go. That's better. Sorry. Apologies. My
That's all right.
headset decided that it was going to die there for a second.
Yeah.
Uh,
Didn't exist for a moment.
Yeah. So I am going to do Medicine Man on Bereth because he is unconscious and looks like he's badly damaged. So he heals 1d4 and is automatically stabilized. So
Okay.
I'll just roll /roll 1d4. He gets 4 hit points.
Okay. He kind of it's like, he's rolling around in the dirt, and you kind of do your stuff, and he's like, thank you. He's like tries to get up, and then the brute squad are going to fire arrows at the crab. So 2 at the one standing over Laffel. That's a hit.
Ooh.
For 1 damage, and no, that doesn't
D4.
hit. Okay, and then shooting at. In fact, no, 3 of them are going to shoot at that one because they're like adjusting. Like, oh, he's gone down. Let's shoot. Nope. And you know what? Actually, all 4 of them will. Here you go. Oh, there you go. There's a hit. Okay, so Laffel's still on the floor, but a couple of arrows come in as they see him go down. They're like, quick, shoot that one. Okay. I believe that's the end of the round. End of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
There's fighting going on upstairs and now inside the building. And things are getting quite crazy in there. We shall go back to the crabmen. So on their turn, the one crab is going to melee Dodecimus, and then the other one is going to move into melee with you guys.
Oh, that's lovely.
These lasers aren't working for anyone right now, so it's kind of like, I'm just going to go fight. So the first one that's attacking Dodecimus.
Oh no.
Oh, critical hit.
It had
Plus
to
2
happen.
damage. So he takes 4 points of damage, and he's like, "Ugh. I've taken worse wounds clipping my nails." Oh my god! Is that another critical hit?
Yeah.
Yes, stop it.
Jeez, what's going on?
Where did that send us?
I've stolen Roger's dice. Let's roll. Times 2 dice damage. Okay, so he takes 6 points of damage. He looks a little bit more serious about this one. He tried to bluff the last one off. This one, he's like, and he's like, gets in his guts, and he's like, he's like, I'm okay. As the other one moves into you guys, and it's going to do a snip on each of you. One
No,
on
thank you.
Jean.
No,
and
no.
one-
Given your roles, please don't.
One on
Oh, I
Abdul.
don't
and
like
one
this
on Dan.
idea. It's a very bad idea.
So one
already.
for Jean,
Oh shit.
misses,
Ha
and the other one for Alika. Critical. No, misses. This is the clumsy crab, and it's full of arrows, and it's knackered.
that
Right, so it
clumsy
runs over, and it's like.
crab.
Okay, over to you guys. You're now in melee range.
I'm still opting for magic.
Okay.
I think I'm out of magic, unfortunately.
One last one.
Well, I guess I'm gonna hit it with a club.
Okay, go for it.
That seems ridiculous.
Well, your
but-
mace.
Yeah, with the mace. Am I flanking? I've got a friend next to me. Does that
Yeah.
count?
Sheriff is technically up now as well.
That's true. And Lafal is prone behind it.
Oh god. So if I push it, it might fall over. Is that what you're
You
saying?
might collapse onto him and kill him.
Oh, that doesn't sound
Got
quite
him.
a good plan. Armor class
That
3.
hits. That
Oh my
hits.
god! I did
9
half this
damage. Wow. Okay. It comes over and it's like, and you just like smash it full in its kind of eye region, and its head caves in, and you squelch through its brain, and it collapses to the floor dead.
The power of the raven compels you.
Nice one.
Well done.
I'm just looking at the base going, oh, okay. Oh, did anyone else see that?
Alika.
Get up, Laffo. 8 hit points.
8 hit points.
Hey!
Look at that.
Ah!
Okay.
She like flows all of her magic into her hands and puts her hands on his chest. Get up.
Yeah.
Yes, boss.
You stand up and you're like, ugh. I'm not sure if you can. I think you can make a partial move in this turn, but I don't think you can
Yeah, I don't think you can do anything else. I think he's
really
just got up.
strike. Yeah, you've just got up. Yeah, from death. So that's cool. Okay. The building is now on fire. And people are sort of smashing stuff up. And you can hear fighting still. The archers are going to shoot at the other crab that is tearing a hole in Dodecimus.
There we go.
Oh my lord.
All the crits.
4 damage. Okay. Alright. Next guy. This has been crit
It
night.
has. It's been
Four,
crazy.
4 damage. Bloody hell, what's going on? This guy. No. And the next guy. No. Okay. 2 more arrows find their mark. The others bouncing off, and Dodecimus is kind of like watching out for any arrows accidentally hitting him from behind. So we shall go back round to the crabmen.
That's
Crab
good.
man singular.
Crabman,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Very true. Very true. And it is going to try and snippety snip Dodecimus. That is a hit. And Dodecimus falls to the floor. And it's going to snip him again. But miss.
What?
Oh no, it's prone. So it's just straight up damage.
Crab people have no honor.
Oh. Minus 6 hit points. I know we need to check out the dying rules.
I was gonna say.
Hopefully he's not dead yet.
So you see Dodecimus fall, fighting hand to hand with this crabman on his own. It's very heroic, but unfortunately, he falls. So we now go over to you guys. Lafal, you are within range to step and then attack this other crab because you're all in quite. I mean, any of you could now step and fight this other guy if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, I'll avenge my fallen brother. Do I get 2 attacks now? Since I've
No,
not
because
had
you've been
any-
unconscious, unfortunately.
right.
Or you
Yeah.
reset.
Or dead, temporarily.
Temporarily dead.
Only mostly dead.
Fair. Whack. No.
No, that's a miss, unfortunately.
You'd like the sound effect.
Okay. Whack.
Yeah.
That would have been a good hit as well.
Good,
Look at
it
that
would have been,
nine
yeah.
damage. Okay, so unfortunately, you're like still you're like just come to, and you're like slightly off balance.
Things a
And
bit
you
blurry.
swing, and you're sad because Dodecimus is on the floor. Other heroes, what do you want to do?
I will be doing a magic action.
Okay, then Jean, what would you like to do?
I will step boldly into the melee like the absolute idiot I am.
Emboldened by your last strike,
Yes.
you're like, I can do this melee
Not
shit.
really. Just slightly, slightly holding the mace like I don't want to be next to it because it's
Sure.
a bit scary.
Okay.
Just going to take
Cool.
the mace up to the crab and
Well,
hit
you
it.
get a flanking bonus.
I get a flanking bonus. Lucky me. So that's a nice +1. That's a hit.
That is a hit.
Slightly less damage this time though. So
And you
a
step
happy
up
5.
and you smash this crab in the same place you smashed the last crab. And its head caves in and it drops to the floor, dead.
Wait.
I'm just going to look to the Lefel and go, that's 2?
Only counts as one. Each, but one.
They were seriously weakened.
Berith like steps forward and he says, "What amazing feats of heroism I am witnessing this day! Come, everybody! Where are they?" And like the people start emerging from the building, and they're like, "You're
That's
doing
for
medicine man."
Medicine Man on Dodecimus. He's automatically stabilized and gets 3 hit points back.
So he's on -3, but not dying.
No, he's stabilized, so he's put back to 0 and then gets the 3.
Okay.
And for death, because he's an NPC, he would have had to be -10 to be dead.
Okay, that's fine. You're nearly there.
But
Nearly.
4 to 9, he has to suffer blood loss, so he would have lost 1 hit point per turn, per
Well,
round.
you
sorry.
didn't leave him long enough. For
If,
that to
yeah,
happen,
no,
so
no.
He was at -6,
Yes.
so he
immediately
kind of wakes up and he's like,
Wow.
"Oh, I have been close before, but that was too close for comfort." Berith is in the middle of giving a great speech as people are coming out of the building, and their kind of sacking of the sackmaster's house has been complete. And he's like, "Everybody, gather round, our great heroes of our town, Laffel, Jean, and the Grey Lady herself, Ali Kazam." And everyone's like, "Way, Dodecimus, stand up!" And he's like, gets up, and he's not like reveling in it, but he's kind of like like this, and he's like, "Everyone, you are all heroes. We have taken our town back from the clutches of the crab folk. Let us go now and find Paffel Jaffet and the others, and ensure that the fish folk have not caused too much destruction in the tunnels beneath our feet." And he turns to you three, and like, as people start sort of moving out and away, and he says, "Thank you so much. I, without the three of you, Husgrin would still be in the clutches, the claw of the crab. But I fear for the future, for we are but one town on the edge of the Striped Gulf, and I feel others may not be happy about this freedom that we have forged. I may need your help further to go forward and find out what is going on further up the Striped Gulf. But this is talk for another day. Let us go and make sure that our people are safe, the town is secure, and that Paffel Jaffet and Gerd and Vandro are all still alive. And I like this talk of this council that you mentioned. Perhaps this is something we should look into."
Yeah.
Someone nearby kind of appears with like some jugs of wine and stuff, and one of them's thrust towards you, and Berith takes a drink from it and passes it to Alika. It says, drink with me here to commemorate this moment, this freedom of my town that you have helped forge."
Okay. Hands it to Jean.
It's actually nice wine because it's come
Oh,
from the sackmaster's house.
oh,
I
this
had
is
it to
actually
John. It's got a
more
nice.
than possible. This is quite nice. Where did you get this? It's very nice.
Imported from Tannerin.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there is another reason to liberate such a fine city from the claw of the crab. Well, companions, I think it is very important that we save this town. Mm.
Very well. For now, I believe, and he sort of points at the top of the roof as you guys drink the wine. This is where it is to be mounted, and he says he kind of goes up the stairs, and you follow him. And as you get to the top of his house, you can see that he can see out into onto the water from on top of the building. The building's kind of on a rise, almost on the headland of this, waterway coming in towards the mountains. And he kind of points off and in the distance, and he's like, Tannerin and Tennick Orn, both I believe have been taken by the crab cult, and I would see what my brothers and sisters in those towns, what plight has befallen them, for we have long had great trade up and down the striped gulf here. But recently, we could not move fast enough, and all I could do was take the help of a volunteer to take my place, and take what men I could into the mountains, to await, perhaps, Zathokra's hand coming in the form of 3 brave heroes. Thank you for your assistance.
We were happy to help.
You honor us with your thanks.
It was a worthy goal, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think so. And he turns around and look at the town in the other direction. You can see a few trails of smoke from a few buildings on fire, but the kind of ruckus has died down, and people are now seem to be repairing and putting things back into place. And he says, "We will train more soldiers, and we will build the walls stronger. I believe those gates are not strong enough for what may come."
No.
No.
Yes, I feel we will mine what we can in what short time we have. And I will send people across the water to watch the roads, to alert us of any folk coming from along the Gulf. Rest today, rest tonight, sleep well, free, have the freedom of my town. You may go where you please, and whatever you wish, my people can provide for you. It is yours, and I will pay for it from the town's coffers. So please, be welcome. But I would talk to you tomorrow about your future, your immediate future. But now I must go. There are fish folk to be
Gutted.
boned, gutted.
Fried.
Yes, that's it. I need the right kind of... Yes, anyway. Thank you. And he kind of runs off to go, and there are people waiting for him at the bottom, like, "Come, my lord, we must go and take on the fish folk." And you see them go off, and the 3 of you are standing there. And you have successfully freed the town of Huskarin, but you are just on the edge of this this peninsula, and on the edge of the domain of the Crab King. So there may be future adventures along this way. You may all advance to the next level.
Ooh.
Yes, so you're now 3rd level characters for rescuing the folk of Huskarin, as you are rewarded by the town, and you're given enough gold to go up a level. So the next couple of days pass, right? And you help the people of the town sort of rebuild, get rid of all the shells that are dotted everywhere, get rid of some of the graffiti. Some people want to spend time with the Grey Lady, and this kind of strange little semi-cult starts to build up, and Berith is humouring it for now, but is worried about cults built around people who come from under the sea. So he's kind of like, okay, that's fine, but let's
Alika
not...
will definitely be directing them more to Lunaqua, which is her actual goddess that which she follows. So
Sure.
rather than them following her, she's like pushing them down the road of maybe not only worshipping Zofka, but also Lunaqua as well.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And that he obliges, and he's like, this makes sense to me. Paffel Jaffet and his men push back the fish folk and retake the docks. And he is reinstalled as the dockmaster. And a council is formed, or they discuss that it will be formed, within the coming days.
Mhm.
And Vandro completes the device, and it is installed on top of the tower, on top of the Sackmaster's house,
Okay.
which has become a kind of mini fort type temple type thing.
Mm.
And occasionally you see it being tested and firing laser beams off into the sea. And this thing looks powerful and with quite some range on it. And maybe even from where it is, it could fire at any crossings that might be coming across the water to get to the town. So some defensive measure for Huskrin.
Mhm.
Gerd's tavern is repaired and looked after. And Gerd has offered for you to stay for the next week, free of charge. And your food and wine and all these things. Dodecimus recovers from his wounds, but he says to you he's eager to move on. And he says, if you are going to be heading up the coast, then I will travel with you. As long as you can pay.
Yeah, we know. We know. We would appreciate your company.
And that's almost like a little, he doesn't really mean it, but it's his thing, you've got to pay me. I'll be there as long as you pay. And it's like, there's plenty of gold to go around. And you spend a couple of days in Huskrin, recovering, recuperating, having that full proper rest where you get all of your hit points back.
All of our hit
So you're now up to, you can roll hit points if you want, or we can do that before the next time we review these characters. Oh, there you go. Oh, someone rolled a 1.
It was me, yeah.
Oh, man.
I have rolled 8
You've rolled
twice,
max.
though.
Yeah.
So that's
You
fair.
said all of our hit points.
7.
Oh, you mean the new hit points?
New
That's
hit
right.
points, yeah. So you can go up to this new maximum. So Laffel, good. How many hit points you got now?
27.
27. Wow.
4! Got
Not bad.
14!
Not bad. Not bad. 14 out of 18. That's
So
not bad.
going to die.
So, you're mulling over what you want to do, and Berith comes to you and says, look, I would, you've helped us free this town. I would pay you to journey to Tanarin and Tenek Orn and find out what's going on and come back and tell us if word of how our freedom has reached them, and if so, how they feel about it, what's going on there. We've not had many travellers come this way in a while. What we have, they just talk about the fighting pits. Is there something you feel you could do? He says,
Yes.
putting a bag of coins on the table. Okay, thank you. Okay, and that's all we see of you guys. You're preparing to head off. You're getting your new gear. Maybe you've got some new armor, some new weapons. That can be figured out later. But we cut to a figure on a horse and charging through. And the camera pans around and we see Gren riding through a gate and getting off the horse and making his way through a market town. This town is bigger than Huskrin, more built up, kind of tiered structure, almost into the mountains, and climbing up various stairs, kind of sandstone brick everywhere, painted red and green on the surface, filigree decoration, murals, all kind of rising civilization into the mountains. The higher he goes up these stairs, the more rich it seems the surroundings. And he gets to a doorway and he says, please, you must let me through. I have urgent news. And the guards look at him quizzically and open the door for him, and he goes in and he runs across the room, and sitting on a throne, what throne is a bit of a grandiose term for it, a very large chair in this audience chamber with various people sort of dotted around, normal humans sort of in servant garb doing different things, is a large Atlantean in a big breastplate armor. There's a helmet to the side, and it's kind of standing, it's scarred. It's a man, very scarred, and the Gren runs in and kneels down, and he's like, I have word from Husgrin. They've fought for freedom, and one of your kind has helped them find it. And this person's like, and picks up the helmet, puts it on, and walks out the door into the camera, and we go to black. Cool. Okay. So that is the end of this phase of the Doom of the Crab King. I've had lots of fun with this game. It's been a bit weird and a bit crazy, but that's the whole point of Hyperborea, and I kind of lent into that a bit.
Been good fun.
Yes.
And you guys have played your characters really well, so it's been a lot of fun. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who's watched. If you're watching this back on YouTube, then please go check out all our links below, all our social media, and there's a link for our Discord, Gartopia. Come and join us talking about role-playing games, films, TV, all kinds of stuff. Really nice community. Not too heavy on the notifications, so you'll be okay. And check out all our other videos as well. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've got this far in the video, thank you very much for sticking through. Cool. Okay. Well, we're going to figure out what we're going to do next week with a different crew, slightly adjusted crew. And we will be having other space?
Other space, I want to say. Other space, yeah.
That sounds about right.
Other space show starting a week on Thursday. Ben will be running that. So that's coming. That is mythical cyberpunk. Right? So what that means, we will find out together.
Otherscape.
Otherscape, that's it. Sorry. Otherscape. Thank you.
I'm in it, I forgot.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my players. Scarblack Games. Stay safe and happy gaming. Bye-bye.